Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to make a quick video talking about a single position that I'm in, and it's the largest single position because usually I like to buy index funds and ETFs and all of those well-diversified things. And this particular company has earnings tomorrow morning, so I thought we'd talk about it really quickly. Before we get into it, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any videos in the future, and we'll probably talk about this again after earnings and see what happens to the stock. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, the stock in particular that I'm talking about is Sofi. Robinhood's where I primarily trade single positions. I do have some VOO, but in this portfolio is more of my riskier single stock positions. And as of right now, either from just buying shares outright or selling puts and being assigned shares, I own over 1,300 shares of Sofi. And this market value right here on a single stock, quite frankly, terrifies me. And then something else I did when a lot of the banking stocks were taking huge hits, as some of them were collapsing, I bought a few calls on Sofi, which I don't usually do because I suck at timing different stocks in the market. But if things go well tomorrow morning, I'll end up probably selling these calls and just putting it into VOO. And so far, these calls, the 3 calls, are up $113 total. Something happened after hours yesterday. I don't know if this is a sign that someone knows something that we don't, or if it's just coincidence, but it's up almost 4% after hours on Friday, over a percentage more than it was up during the entire day on Friday. According to Robinhood, the analysts estimate a negative 7-cent per share earnings to be announced. And if you recall from the previous earnings, they actually beat it pretty significantly. Though, of course, past performance doesn't indicate future performance, so take that for what it's worth. But I guess I want to talk about my game plan. So if Sofi does end up doing really well, I will likely buy to close the 2 puts that I sold on Sofi. And then depending on where the price goes, like I said, if it is pretty positive, I'll end up looking at selling some calls to try to liquidate some of my shares. Now, that's a big if because my average cost is $9.01 per share. And of course, I don't want to sell calls below that just because if they do get assigned, then that's an instant loss. But it's something to take note of if things go well. Something I did mention in the last earnings that I was concerned about, I'm curious how they pan out this quarter, was personal loans going up majorly. At a time with high interest rates and a pretty rough economy, it scares me when they go ahead and loan more and more personal loans. Now, something that did ease that was they announced that the average money-weighted credit score was 740-ish, or maybe I'm wrong. You'd have to double-check that. Don't quote me, but it was something around there, which is higher than I expected, meaning that they loan larger amounts of money to people with better credit scores, as they should. So that's something I'm going to keep a look at tomorrow. I'm curious on the mortgage origination year over year. I'm sure it'll be down. I remember it was last quarter. And yeah, that's just some things I'm going to look at. I'm not going to make a price prediction because you shouldn't listen to me. In fact, you shouldn't listen to any YouTuber. You should just be well diversified and don't listen to anyone on here at least. But thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. We'll probably talk about earnings. And yeah, see you there.